In this episode, we're going to talk about lions.
Another cat.
Kitty cats.
Good.
Big cats.
We'll be right back.
See you soon.
Welcome back to Southern Oregon Safari.
We're the Buffalo Roam.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Hayden.
And Hayden's going to share with us yet another cat that he works with, and that is a lion?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have lions anymore, but I've worked many lions over in my career, my span of my career, and I had a lion named Genghis Khan for many, many years. He had a kind of an autoimmune disease he started getting around 13 years old. By the time he was about 15, I had to unfortunately euthanize him because his kidneys failed, which was really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But they can live 20, they can live 24, but in the wild, 10 to 13 is about average. They're like a house cat, like a larger, just a big cat or house cat on steroids. I mean, they get giant, and sometimes you're lucky and they'll live a really long life, and sometimes they won't. But we tried everything. My wife, being a veterinarian, we tried multiple different medications for him, but eventually we kept him alive for a number of years with this issue that we couldn't seem to resolve. But the drugs kept him comfortable and happy for most of his life. But then once his kidneys started to fail, it was not much you can do at that point. Can't fix kidneys on a lion, unfortunately.
No, it was a male. Was a big
male. It was a big male lion. He was what you'd call a Barbary lion, a black mane lion from the Barbary coast of Africa. They're very, very thick mane. I mean, they got a really thick mane. They got lots of belly mane all the way down to their back legs. And they're just a bit larger than most. And of course, I don't know why, but like I told you, my tiger is quite large. My lion was a monster. And I don't know why. He just was a beast of a lion.
He was well loved.
He was well loved. He was a little, and maybe I killed him with love, I guess. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he just died from too much love. The calories, I don't know. But he just grew of epic proportion. And we talked about neutering a bear, and that they do much better and they would grow. Well, you can't neuter a lion. It's very odd. You neuter a lion, you know what happens? Their mane falls out, and they become feminized.
A eunuch.
It's one of the only animals that does that. It's really bizarre. Like, I mean, you don't see that in a lot of other animals, but you take a male lion and you neuter him, his mane falls out and he becomes feminized.
They need that testosterone.
They need the testosterone.
Gotcha.
So you can't neuter a lion, and obviously neutering would probably make them a lot more even-keeled and a lot easier to deal with, because a male lion, his whole world is nothing more than domination. The only things that they have that matter to them is eating and passing on genetics, basically. So they fight over food, territory, and passing genetics on.
Yeah.
So everything's a battle. So they're basically a warrior. I mean, lions are, especially male lions, they are battle-born. They're born to battle. And so a lion is a very tricky animal to work with. They have a very strict social structure, where the tiger is so a lion lives in a pride. He's one of the few cats that are not solitary, that are actually
that's right. Yeah.
They're social cats. So cheetahs are social cats, lions are social cats. They'll hunt together, just like hyenas will socialize and hunt together and work together. Tigers are a solitary cat. Leopards are a solitary cat. You take a lion, he is not a solitary animal. He lives in a family unit, and he has a job, and his job is to be the baddest one on the block and run all the other lions out, fight them to the death, get rid of them, pass his genes on. If a male lion comes across a group of females and he takes that pride over and he makes them his pride, all the pregnant females, as soon as the babies are born, if they're not his offspring, he kills them. He knows, and he kills them right off the bat. He goes and he bites them and kills each one of them the minute they come out of that mom. And she tries to defend him, but he's going to win. And he'll take the other male lion's offspring and kill him. And then as soon as he does that, the female comes into season, and he breeds all that pride with his own genetics, and he passes his own genetics. So his only goal in life is pass his genetics on. So, and he doesn't have to do the hunting. He lets the girls do the hunting, and then he steals the food from them. He's the first one to eat and the first one to lay down and take a nap.
So he gets the choice meat.
Exactly. And so a lion is a serious cat to deal with. They're very tricky. They're not for everybody. A tiger, you can get away with a lot of stuff. Leopard, you can get away with a lot of stuff. Lions, you don't get away with much. You better understand their social structure. You better understand their behavior and understand what things mean. If you mistaken friendliness for aggression or vice versa, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. So you definitely do not. It's definitely not a beginner cat. No big cats are for beginners, but you really better know what you're doing when you're messing with lions. They're a serious cat. And my lion con was at one point was over 700 pounds, which is extremely large because most lions don't get more than 350, 400. He was giant. Now he was a little overweight at times in his life, and I think that's probably part of why he was not, or what I wouldn't say that's what caused it, because he was skinny when he was young. When he first developed his issue, he was nice and trim, but after he got ill, I started having trouble trying to keep the weight off him, keep him slender. He just got giant, and that might have been something to do with maybe his health issue. We don't know. It's just, I don't know if it's genetic, whatever. We tried everything and we couldn't really. We had a tough enough time just even really identifying what his issue really was. But he was great. I really enjoyed him. We had a really great relationship. I had a couple moments with him where he challenged me on and off here and there. And you can't fight a lion with your body.
That's scary.
You'll lose in a second. So you better be able to have a good brain and be able to do what you have to do with your brain and deflect an issue and not turn an anthill into a mountain.
Oh, boy.
So you basically better know how to be on your feet and how to think ahead and understand what the lion is saying and when he's saying it and what it means and how to handle it. And you better have that idea what you're going to do right then and there. You don't have time to go, hold on, let me go through the handbook and go to page 500 to see what you're supposed to do. You better know right then and there. And so, tricky animal, but what an experience.
Oh my.
Really enjoyed it.
You've worked with him on projects out there?
I did a bunch of stuff. I did some MasterCard commercials with him. I did a Discover Card commercial. I did, I did some music videos. We did some, had some of the lines that I worked with. We had on Michael Jackson's Remember the Time. Gosh, what else did we wrap there? I mean, I did a Janet Jackson music video. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, he was a challenge. It was not something you did for fun. People are like, how much you charge for something like that? Well, when you're working a line, you better charge enough to make it worth your while. Because you only have so many jobs in you before you fall apart. And that's the one thing people say, are you ever going to get another lion? I'm like, not at my age. I'm only 55, but you take a beating from a lion. I loved him to death, but just him being friendly was painful.
Yeah.
Just bumping and rubbing against you. I mean, my knees are ruined from him just rubbing up against my knees. I mean, you take a 600, 700 pound animal and have them take their head and headbutt you in the knee as they're rubbing on you and pushing on you. Your knees only take that so many times, and the next thing you know, you spend the rest of your life gimping around like me. So, it definitely wears you down pretty good. And I had quite a few broken noses. My nose used to be a lot prettier.
Oh.
Tail comes swapping you. Got 30
those tails are big.
25, 30 pound tail swinging at 30 miles an hour, hit you in the face, right in the nose. That'll wake you up and get your attention real quick. And they do that. The lions, their tail is always moving, and when there's meanings behind what the tail is doing, and they're constantly lifting the tail and flapping it and bumping stuff and smacking it around. Some of it's to remove insects off of them a little bit. They'll kind of fling their tail around, but when they're agitated or they're excited, that tail starts swinging around, and boy, I've caught that thing in the face so many times.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And then it's got that tuft to fluff at the end of it.
And people don't realize inside that fluff, there's actually a little spur in there.
Ooh, did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, most lions, you'll have a tough time even finding it. It looks like a little teeny claw, but it doesn't really. At some point, probably 50,000, 100,000 years ago, it might have been something as a weapon, or might have had a different. It's kind of evolved to where it's almost not even. It's just teeny and it's barely there now. So you won't really feel it. It's not like a hook, like a stingray hook or anything. But at some point, it might have been.
Oh, that's interesting.
There, in prehistory, I'm sure that might have been something.
Yeah.
Something they slowly evolved and got rid of.
Wow.
So, but yeah.
Well, thank you for that information, especially that old buried spur in the tail.
It's hard to find, but there's a little
Never
spur
heard
in there
that before, and now you heard it here.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for more videos. We got more animals to cover. This isn't the end of it.
Yep. We'll see you soon with more exciting animals soon. So
this is Southern Oregon Safari.
Where the buffalo roam.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Hayden.
And we've got more to tell you. Just keep tuning in and check out the description down below on how to get a hold of Hayden to be able to use these animals in your special projects.
Yeah.
Like if you got a MasterCard commercial or a US Bank commercial, you want to do a
music video,
like one of these cats, a serval. We'll see you guys. Be safe, always be kind, and go have an adventure.
See you soon.